report the news that nobody has the balls to report.
You with us, Brett? You there?
We report the news that nobody has the balls to report. We report the news that nobody has the balls to report.
Why am I the only one breaking stories like this? You can call me Uncle Turtleboy, Clarence, Aidan. I don't care what you call me.
Did you not say that you were gonna take my baby out of revenge and make him a transgender baby?
I think they don't like the things that I'm saying and they want me to stop saying them, but I'm not. I'm never gonna stop. Now, these are the kind of stories, guys, that must be told. I'm just a guy who's breaking stories and reporting news from my basement. Yo, what's up, Turtle Riders? How's everybody doing tonight? Good? Good? Excellent. Welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host. They call me Uncle Turtleboy around these parts. You can call me Aidan, Turtleboy, whatever. I'm your host for this evening, and pretty much every evening we do these shows. We do these live shows every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m., unless stated otherwise. We also do a special stream on Thursday nights at 9:30. Something called Turtle Club. You have to join Turtle Club to access it. It's an extra bonus stream, extra content that nobody else gets for $15 a month. You get ad-free on the website, none of those annoying pop-up ads. You get access to that stream, and you get a free t-shirt of your choice from the Turtleboy store. Most importantly, by joining Turtle Club, you are supporting what we do here at Turtleboy and, reporting the news that nobody else does, because we're constantly getting banned from shit. Constantly. Eventually we're going to lose Google AdSense. It's like really only a matter of time. So the best way to keep this puppy going and make sure that we're beholden to nobody except for you, the listener and the reader, is by joining Turtle Club. You can do it in the bio below, and that's how it's done. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've also shared the link to this stream on the various social media pages that we currently run on Facebook. You can find me at Turtleboy Daily News. We just passed 33,000 followers today on there, 1/3 of the way, almost to 100,000, which we did get about 5 years ago, and then they took that page away from us. But we have not passed the page with 32,000. This is the first page that's passed 33,000. 32 was the mark before that, since we've rebuilt. So good on us there. So keep liking those pages, keep liking the comments, interacting with it, help the page grow. You can also follow me on the Uncle Turtleboy page on Facebook and my personal account, Clarence Woods Emerson, on the Twitter machine. I can be found at Dr. Turtleboy. That's DOCTOR Turtleboy. Because if Joe Biden is a doctor, then I'm definitely a doctor. You can also follow me on Twitter at Turtleboy Phone. I was on it all last week. When I'm on the road, I use the phone a lot. I have two different accounts. One goes on my phone, one goes on the computer. It's a long story. Just follow them all. We're on the gram at Turtleboy_daily_news as well. And all sorts of podcast forums and everything in the description below. Like everything, man. Just follow Turtleboy everywhere. But most importantly, guys, make sure you have smashed that subscribe button so you get and hit the notification bell so you are notified every time that we do a live show performance. But again, it's usually Tuesday and Saturday nights at 9 o'clock. But every once in a while, we'll do an impromptu thing. If I'm, surprising somebody, if I'm doing one of my ambush things with Tony Branch, you never know when I'm going to go live. So follow them all. And how many thumbs up we got? We got 52 thumbs up. Let's keep those going. Keep giving us a thumbs up. Leave a comment after the show. Those all help with the algorithms. That's what they tell me. So we also have our producer Deb backstage. How you doing, Deb?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Good, thank you. So glad to be back. This is kind of our first post-vacation show, if you will. Winnipesaukee came and went, and that was kind of like just a welcome back kind of thing. But we actually have new content tonight, new things to discuss. And one thing I have forgot to mention, guys, if you guys like what we're doing here and you want to donate to the show, usually most YouTube channels have a thing called Super Chat where you can hit a $ button and you can donate whatever amount of money you want, and you get to write a message with that gets color coded and it comes up bigger. Well, we can't do that because we had the wrong opinions on Joe Biden's climax mandate about a year ago. So they took that away from us. So you are not allowed to give your money to me, even if you want to do that, at least on YouTube. So we went ahead and we built our own super chat. It's called Turtle Chat. It's linked in the comments above on the link above at the very top of the comments. We pinned it to the top. You can donate whatever amount of money you want. And when you do that, you get to leave a message. I will get an email notification when you do that, and I will bring it up on the big screen like yeah. So we got one already. We got one Turtle Chat here from Sean Carrot. His message, he sends $50. Thank you very much, Sean. Very generous of you. And his message is carrots, in case we forgot which Sean that was. But you can get more creative with your Turtle Chat. You can, maybe give a shout out to your boys, your dog. Maybe somebody, stabbed someone in front of you on the Block Island Ferry this weekend, and you want to call them out because you're really mad about it. Or I don't know. Maybe somebody stole your food stamps and sold them all to some crackhead for, Diego's new product. I don't know. It's your Turtle Chat. You can put whatever you want on there. It goes up on the big screen with the dono. And that's that. Oakley Dokley. Am I forgetting anything else, Deb, before we get this party started?
Nope, you got it.
Okay. All right. So let's just jump right into it. So we're going to talk tonight. And we have a guest backstage, a witness more like it, to the incident that we're going to talk about here. But we're going to talk. Let's just explain this first. Can you bring the first blog up for me about the Block Island Ferry incident that everyone's talking about? Thank you. Okay. So there was, you can start scrolling down. There we go. All right. So there was, have you been to Block Island before, Deb?
I haven't, no.
I've never been. I've been to, obviously, I've been to the Massachusetts Islands. I've been to Nantucket and the Vineyard. I've never been to Block Island. I don't know. Is it like, what's its rep? What's Block Island? Is Block Island like?
I don't think it's usually bad. I think it's like a family type thing. Like, I heard they have really good like tides and stuff out there.
But is it like?
Surfing, but
is it like
being ratchet?
Is it like sophisticated, like Martha's Vineyard? I mean,
probably,
Nantucket is like like. Do the men folk wear a lot of boat shoes? Is that popular?
I don't know.
I judge an island on the percentage of men wearing boat shoes. Okay, so it's a ghetto vineyard. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So people are saying it's like Nantucket. That's fancy. That's fancy if that's the case. So others are saying it's a ghetto vineyard. Vineyard is like one step down from Nantucket, in my opinion. But anyway, it's a little island there, X amount of miles off the coast of Rhode Island. And it was popularized a few weeks ago, or maybe like a month ago, when State Senator Tiara Mack shaked her tail feather for the world to see on TikTok and twerked, and she went upside down, and we all got to see her genderqueer, person of color asses. I don't know how she would want to be identified, but whatever. It's non-binary. It's all good. Okay. And that was the first time I've ever seen anything like that on a fancy island like this. But apparently that's the culture she wants to cultivate down there now. And it is devolved into something completely different. There's this place called, I think it's called Ballard's. It appears to be some sort of bar. And people have messaged me about this place since then. I guess it courts an underage crowd. Like they're known for serving minors. People have told me this is allegedly. They're known for, creating a party atmosphere. The Vineyard doesn't have shit like this. Nantucket doesn't have shit like this. So they have a reggae festival down there. And during the reggae festival, a huge fight broke out. I mean, there are a number of fights that happened. And let's just watch this first fight, shall we? Let's bring it up. Let's see what happens here. All right, now watch. Okay, so we got 2-on-1 there. Something's going on. And then we got to watch this guy. Ready? Swing and a miss. Oh, can we replay that part, Deb? Just replay that part. I want to go back and replay that. Just go back to the swing and the miss part. No, that's posted. Go back to the before. How do you miss that? How do you miss that? Oh! Whoa! Oh, and then the miss. Can any of these people connect a punch? Is there anyone? What the fuck was that? Go show that last part again where the guy starts skating across the fucking place. When I first saw this, I'm like, are they? No, you got to go back to the part where the guys. Okay. Now watch this. What is this? What is that guy doing? What does that guy do? Are these people fighting on KY jelly or something? Okay, you can stop it there. Just a bunch of yelling from that point on. All right. So that's not good. That's not a tourist attraction at all. And so apparently this animosity carried all over as people began to get on the boat. There was supposed to be like a 6:45 ferry, and I don't know. These ferries were packed over capacity, and yeah, you see that. I mean, that was an impressive. Look at that motherfucker. He knew it was coming. He just got down. Look at that crouch. And then this dude. I mean, it's a step by step. Then he falls on his ass. There he goes, and then he tries to get up. And then, should I get up? Should I get up? Oh, no, I'm going to fall down again. Oh, boom. That sucks. That's embarrassing. That's not good for your rep at all. So, how did that happen, guys? I mean, seriously, was there why was it so slippery? Why were they falling so much? That's the biggest question mark I have from that. So anyway, I digress. They went to get on the boat, and apparently before the boat took off, there was some sort of incident. Maybe it might have been a stabbing. Maybe our witness could tell us about it in a couple minutes, but people were begging to get these people off the boat, I guess, that were involved in the stabbing and the fighting and stuff like that. And it didn't happen. And so it's a 50-minute ride back to the mainland, to Port Judith. And during this time, it was basically the guy described it as Con Air, which is just perfect. If you've ever seen the movie Con Air, a bunch of convicted killers take over a plane, and Nicolas Cage is on his way home to see his baby girl because he's innocent there, and blah, 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 blah. And he gets caught up in the mix or whatever. But this is, once we're going to see the rap sheets on the people involved in this is Conferry. This is the Conferry. And there was no guards at all on this boat. There's one guy here. Play the tape. Watch this incident. Look at these James Harden dudes. Look at them. And then there's that one guy in the middle. That's security. I assume that's security. He's in charge. So that's productive. So I have not seen any incidents of actual fighting on the boat or anything like that, but I have seen videos of like the post what comes, like people were stabbed and shit on this boat. And witnesses tell us that they saw lots of people being stabbed. And so let's see, we don't need to see that video. That's just like a post one. These are the people getting arrested afterwards. And I noticed that guy from the fight. That's Kimbo Half Price, my guy. Keep going. So we seem to have other people here. Our friend Hennessy says no guards on any boats coming or going. I mean, how does that happen? How does that happen? Okay, what's this one? What's this video? Play that one. Oh, so this is the police. This is the one that's really been making the rounds. And this is pretty crazy. Watch them board this boat. Or this is the Coast Guard. Or look at this shit. Dude. No, look at the boats moving backwards and shit. It's like, nope. But they were doing it anyway. And you can, let's see, you can keep scrolling down. What else okay. So let's bring on our witness here, who I kind of interviewed in this. We're going to bring him on right now. I don't know if he wants me to say his name. He was a little bit leery about that before. Hello, how are you? Can I, what should I address you as?
Pat's fine.
Pat's fine. Okay. So Pat, we saw you commented on our Facebook page when we first started talking about this,
Right.
and you were there that day. So you were the person that I spoke to in this blog, and I kind of interviewed here, and we can reiterate. So what were you doing on Block Island on that day?
Okay. So, well, first of all, nice to meet you.
Nice to
And
meet you too.
I'm aware of you. I've seen some of your stuff, and I have friends and family that are big fans of you. So it's a pleasure, and thank you for reaching out to me. Because it was kind of frustrating reading the news coverage because it didn't talk about anything that happened at all. It just kept saying like, you know, the police came in and Coast Guard and like saved the day after this like brawl. It made it sound like a college like bar fight, like it was nothing, you know. And I appreciate you reaching out, and hopefully I can shed some light on what happened because we were in the epicenter when it kicked off, and we were there till the bitter end, you know.
So let me read the NBC News report on this, just so we hear. This is how the mainstream media framed this incident. 7 were arrested and 2 individuals were hospitalized following a disturbance, they called it, Monday night on the Block Island Ferry, according to the Rhode Island State Police Department. The multiple police departments responded to an incident aboard a Block Island ferry heading from Block Island to Galilee. As a result of the disturbance, law enforcement officers boarded the ferry to secure the scene. 7 individuals were arrested and transported to the Wickford barracks, where they were arraigned in front of a justice of the peace. The individuals were, and then they named them all. And then they say Interstate Navigation Company, owners of the Block Island Ferry, released a message about the incident Monday night. It full reads, and this is what I want you to maybe comment on. Interstate Navigation acknowledges the poor behavior of several passengers, the poor behavior, on our departing ferry from Block Island on Monday night. As per our protocols, when anticipating a heavy volume of holiday travel, added security measures were put in place with the assistance of state and local police. We thank them and are continuing to work cooperatively with law enforcement to investigate the incident in order to assure safe passage of all our valued customers. So what do you think? Nowhere in that entire story did I read the word stabbed or knife, or I saw disturbance a couple times. I didn't see stabbed. So what is that accurate what they put out?
Or a bottle of bleach thrown in someone's face?
No, they didn't mention any bleach. So tell me what you saw from your perspective.
I don't know where you want me to start. I mean, it was my first time to Block Island. I'm from Massachusetts. I spent a lot of time on the vineyard. I've been to Nantucket. I always wanted to go
I
to
see
Block
the shirt.
Island. Yep. And my girlfriend, she had been to Block Island. She's like, "Oh, it's so lovely. You know, we're gonna go there." And I have a couple friends from work that were like, "Hey, we're going to this reggae fest. It's free to get in." You know, so I figured, well, hey, we'll go down there. We'll take the baby down there. We'll go to the beach. Maybe we go to the reggae fest. If it looks weird, we don't go in, like whatever. I didn't see any of those fights, the pre-fights, because I didn't go in until kind of the end of the thing. So a lot of people had cleared out of the festival. So I was at the beach nearby, right next door, all day, enjoying the day, listening to the music. The reggae music was spilling over, and I'm a huge reggae fan. I love reggae music. And you know, the line died down, people were coming out, so we went in there. We sat, I was there for about maybe less than 2 hours, and we're like, hey, maybe we should get going. Maybe there's going to be a big line for the ferry to get out of here. You know, me, my girlfriend, the baby, and my friend, that's a couple, a husband and wife, we decided to leave and get in line. We walk outside, and the boarding terminal is right there, right outside the Ballards Beach Club. Um, uh, for anyone that's never been to Block Island, I hadn't, and I didn't realize even the festival was right there, but the whole town's right there. So we had a great day. We went and got something to eat, went to the beach, went to the festival, go to leave. We come outside of the place, and there's literally like 1,000 people in line to get on the ferry. We're like, where did all these people come from? I know the festival was pretty big, but it's just it must have wrapped around for like a quarter mile of people. Were like, oh my god, we're never getting off of here, you know. And we just accepted it, got in the line, and we waited and waited. Of course, we didn't get on the 6:45 like we had planned. I think I can't remember the times because they just told us, hey, don't worry, we're going to run boats until we get everyone off of here. but it didn't seem like they were trying to get everyone off of there safely. The boats were way over capacity, from what I know from riding the Martha's Vineyard ferry. I'm ex Coast Guard. It just didn't seem safe at all. But we were like, hey, we just were trying to go home, you know, which everyone was in that. So no one was concerned about safety. There were dozens of police and stadies and everyone there on the dock. So they kept it pretty much, you know, everyone was in line. Of course, some people were cutting and there were some scuffles and whatever.
Scuffles in line. While waiting, there was scuffles.
A few. Like I said, I didn't see anything major like the videos you showed. I didn't see any of that. But there was definitely some bad blood with a bunch of people. I saw a lot of, you know, people talking mess and all that, but nothing like hyper violent or anything like that.
Okay.
So everyone was kind of like bummed. We were all stuck in this line, but hey, we're all in it together. We're all feeling good. Going home at some point. We're guaranteed to go home. So we get to the front of the line. They say, okay, this ferry's going to leave between 8:45 and 9 p.m. You know, so we're just so happy we're going to get on this ferry and go home. You know, the baby's tired.
So the ferry was supposed to leave at 6:45 and left at 9. Is that what you said?
No, they kept just running extra ferries.
Okay.
So they just oversold tickets. They sold as many tickets as they could. And then we're like, we'll just clean up the mess at the end. We'll just run enough boats to get everyone home.
So like they weren't prepared. They were treating this as just another day at Block Island. They weren't prepared for like the fact that there was a festival there. There should be more ferries.
They said they were on a holiday schedule, and I wasn't aware of the holiday yesterday. I don't know if it's like Victory Day or something. It was something, and I was like, okay. And so we were like, well, look, there's only a couple ferries leaving. So in our minds, we had to get on this one. So when we saw that line, we were like, wait, are we even going to get off this island tonight? They assured us everything was going to be fine. They're going to get everyone off. They wanted all these people off the island. They wanted them to come on, get all their money, and then get them out of there, you know? Mm-hmm. And the majority of the 99% of the people were awesome, having a great time. Some people were staying there on the island, got an Airbnb or a hotel. It's like an annual thing they do, you know, and everyone sees each other. And I was like, oh, cool. I definitely want to come next year. I'll be a little more prepared. You know, like this is a really cool thing. We finally get on the boat. I guess it's like 8:45, 9 p.m. Exhausted. The ferry's super overpacked. I definitely doubt there was enough life rafts and life jackets for everyone if that thing went down.
Yeah, that would have been a different story.
I'm used to the Steamship Authority, which it's more of like a union thing, and it's very regulated, and there's people walking around the boats and making sure everything's kind of legit. This is not that. This is kids like on a summer job and some captain that's up on. I mean, ultimately, it's a captain's responsibility, you know.
Yeah. So did the first incident, the stabbing, happen before the boat took off?
I didn't see any stabbing per se. Let me tell you about that. So I'm about to get to that. So we get on the boat, everything's great. We walk up the stairway and there's not any seating. Everyone's standing, but there's like a little part at the end of the bench. So I had my girlfriend sit down because she's holding the baby because the baby's exhausted. She was supposed to be home by now, you know? And I'm standing up. My friends, the couple, they said, hey, we're going to go check the concession stand and see if we can go get a drink or something, you know? And they took off. Around the time they took off, these two girls across from us were like, hey, why don't you come sit over here? It's more comfortable, this and that. And she was like, no, I'm okay. But what I realized later was they were catching a vibe that something was about to go down. And I said, oh, that's really nice of you. They insisted. They moved my girlfriend and the baby over there. So I'm standing up across this like narrow kind of passageway that's on a landing right at the top of the stairway. The stairway leads down to the vehicle deck. The vehicle deck was empty. I think there was one car on there, but there was no vehicles trying to get off. It was just people. So everything seemed okay. They had gave her a place to sit. I was like, cool, everyone's comfortable. We'll just, deal with this. We're getting off. All of a sudden, I kind of felt like a vibe, like something was going to happen, like a fight was about to go down. They and I could see these girls were visibly nervous. So then I kind of like, oh wait, maybe they had her sit over there for a reason. Before I could even put that all together, this guy just jumps up off the bench and punches this guy so hard in the nose that blood just rains over everyone. His nose just explodes. And all these other guys start jumping in and fist fighting. The girls that had brought her over to that side immediately surrounded her. So the baby's in the middle, my girlfriend, and then these two girls, and they just hug her and they start screaming, baby, 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 we have a baby here. Stop, stop, stop.
How old's the baby?
Huh?
How old is the baby?
3.
Okay.
So I run over to try to grab her, but they're already on top of her, which is a good thing. But now I'm like, I got to get everyone away from the fight, And I grab them. I start trying to move this almost like a rugby scrum of people through the crowd down the stairway.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, there's these guys rushing towards the fight, and they all have knives out. I see not just knives everywhere. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, for sure I'm going to get stabbed, like accidentally or something, but I'm not even thinking about that. I'm just trying to get them down away from this, We get to the top of the stairs and people are like almost pushing us back because they think we're like part of the fight because it's like a scrum almost. They almost push us down the stairs because it's just so chaotic. We somehow managed, even my girlfriend had flip-flops on, we somehow managed to get down the stairs safely, and we rushed to the other side of the vehicle deck. And everyone's like, oh my God, are you okay? And there's this melee going on up there still. Now we're still docked in Block Island, right? So people haven't finished boarding yet. They were going to keep forcing more and more people on here, right? So everyone's like, oh my God, are you okay? Okay. We're like, I think we're okay. I'm like, I can't believe I wasn't stabbed. I'm looking at them. Everyone seems okay. They're like, you guys are covered in blood. We're like, what? And I look at my girlfriend's face. She has blood all over. The baby has blood all over her. I don't even realize I have blood all over me. One of the ferry workers comes over at some point. Now, this is where it gets a little like time-wise. I don't know if it's minutes, seconds, because I'm just got out of that. We start cleaning up a little bit. This paramedic, I don't think he was a paramedic. I think he worked.
One sec. Just so that I see this Melissa in the comments that has shown some videos. I'm going to put a link for her if she wants to join us too. Melissa, I just put the link to the stream. You can click on that and you can join us. We can bring you in as well. But go ahead.
So basically, I'm just kind of telling you as I remember it because it's still so fresh,
Oh yeah.
I don't know if he was a paramedic, but he grabbed a paramedic bag. He was a ferry employee, and he gave us a handful of paper towels and some like solution. He's like, clean yourselves up. So I cleaned them up, and then my buddy's like, dude, you have blood all over your face and head. I'm like, oh, I didn't know. So I'm like, clean me, I don't want this all over me, So he cleans me up. The picture I sent you of my shirt, I didn't even know I had it all down my back.
That's somebody else's blood is just all over you.
And the baby and my girlfriend.
Was the baby crying?
She kind of was just in shock, and she was so tired from the day, she didn't even kind of really know what was going on.
Wow. That is traumatizing.
So I'm like trying to figure out what's going on, but the fight's going on still up there, and we're just kind of trying to get situated. And eventually the police come running onto the boat. There's a dog. They brought on a German Shepherd, and they come on the boat. They start charging all around. I'm like, well, this is going to be the end of it. They brought on a dog, the police, and my buddy's like, oh, we're never leaving now. They're going to shut down the boat. There's too much blood. They bring down the guy that got punched in the nose. They got him sitting in a chair. He's just gushing blood everywhere. There's blood everywhere. So the police come on, And in the meantime, I'm kind of getting them calm. They're like, oh my God, oh my God. They don't even realize, most people don't realize there were knives out, because I don't think that there was any stabbing at that point, maybe.
Oh,
But knives out, I don't know. I got down. But we realized, hey, we left our bag up there with our wallets and our phones in there where they
oh
were
shit.
fighting. I don't want these guys to have our phones and wallets, you know?
Well, yeah. I don't want anyone to have my phone and wallet. Oh, do we lose your audio? We can't hear you. I don't know what happened. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're good now.
Okay. So I make a mad dash. I run up there. I see your bag. I grab it. They're still scuffling up there, but it's not as crazy with people.
Just to be clear, the boat is moving while all this is happening. The boat is on the water.
Yeah, they were still boarding at this point.
This was when the boat was still at the dock and all this was happening?
Yes. This is the critical point of the whole situation. The police come on board and they do a walk around the boat, I guess, or whatever, but you see them all march off the boat, and everyone's like, wait, they don't have anyone, they're not asking one any questions. And the people that are down with me that are all kind of came down after this, my friends came down because they were trapped on the other side of the melee. They come down, they're like, they can't believe it. But we're seeing some of these guys that were involved in it, and they're just standing there, and the police, one guy literally has a ski mask on, no shirt, and the cops aren't even asking him like any questions or anything. I'm like, okay, I guess it's not illegal in these days to wear a mask, you know, but a ski mask, like, you know, like,
Mm.
not gonna
And
ask
so,
this.
so the cops came on after you were covered. Did you think to go to the cops and be like, hey, I'm covered in blood? I just saw a bunch of people get stabbed.
Actually, even if the cops came to me, I didn't want to talk to them right there, because I'm like, I got a whole boatload of people seeing me. Like, I'm not going to ID anyone or anything like that. I'm not going to endanger my family or myself in any way like that, you know? And I wouldn't even be able to really recognize. But as we were standing there, we were seeing some people that were definitely involved, that the cops were just walking by and acting like this was normal, like a guy has a ski mask on and no shirt on a ferry, you know.
Mm.
And the cops just go off. So we're like, so all of a sudden, you know, the women the hair starts raising on the back of their neck. Women's intuition. They say, hey, they didn't take anyone off. They're not. What's going on? The guy, mostly this one guy, and I wish I took a picture of him, but this ferry employee, he goes, shut up, you guys don't know what you're talking about, there's no knives, and it was just a fight. It's
Oh, we lost you again. We lost your audio again. Can you hear us?
Want me to bring her up too?
What was that? Well, I'll bring her up in a moment.
Okay.
I'm going to bring her up separately. So I see Melissa backstage. We are going to bring her up, Melissa. I don't know I got to mute him. Until he fixes that. So hopefully he gets that fixed in a moment and we can hear the rest of this. But this is crazy, Deb, because I was on. Can you hear?
Hi, yeah.
What is going on?
Do you have the show going on in the background or something?
No, I don't. I mean, he's on the phone. This is why we do computer usually for a StreamYard, because this happens on
It sounds
phone.
like there's like a kid noise and stuff.
Oh, that's not you? I thought that was your kid.
No, it's not mine.
Oh, that's his?
No, I'm good, yeah.
I hear some kind of kid.
There's no kid in my house right now.
Okay,
So
can you hear us?
I can hear you now.
Okay, it's fixed. So, yeah, so this all happened. So this sounds like complete negligence on the part of this.
I guess the people settled down a little bit up there when the cops came through. Clearly, they're not going to like do that in front of the cops. But the cops were on and off the ship in like 5 minutes. And the women start pleading like, hey, what are you doing? We don't want to... And they start making preparations to get underway. And like untying the ship and everything. We're like, wait, what's going on? You didn't take anyone off the ship. Like, what you know? And you're not leaving police on the ship. Like, what is going on? Like, we're all in confusion. And the women are screaming and crying, like, you can't do this. Look at this baby with the blood all over. Like, and they They bounced. They left.
Were they state police?
I don't remember seeing any state police get on. So I guess they were like Block Island police. I'm not sure. And
New Shoreham is the town, I believe.
Yeah, I don't want to implicate anyone, and I have friends in law enforcement and everything. I don't, I don't want to implicate anything, but they left.
I kind of do. I mean, I support the police too, but it's like, it seems as if they completely failed in their duty. If they went on that ship after people had just got stabbed and like they left that, they were negligent. This is like a Uvalde situation, in my opinion.
I don't think anyone had gotten stabbed at that point. It was just the punching and knocked out. So
well, that one thing leads to another usually.
Right. There was
Who the hell brings a knife with them to a reggae festival? Like, all right, wallet, phone, knife.
Who brings bleach?
Right.
No, they didn't bring bleach. They found the bleach in the closet, right?
That came later.
Okay.
So the police get off. The women are screaming, "What are you doing? Why are we getting underway? There's no police with us, and we want to get off. We want to get off." He said, "You can't get off. And if you try to get off, we won't bring you back to the mainland at any point tonight." And they're like, "We don't care. We just want to get off. It's about our safety, our personal safety." He goes, "I don't care." And he put the chain up. And
so threatening to leave them on the island all night if they got off.
Yes. That sounds good.
And we were like, should we get off? Because we know what the line is like behind us. Like, it's 1,000 people. So we're like, we just want to go home. So we're like, well, maybe it's over, but like my girlfriend wanted to get off. My friend's wife wanted to get off. The guys were like, let's just get the hell out of here. So it was kind of like we started almost fighting, but we didn't even have time to have a discussion or an argument. They were just desperate to pull away, which again falls on the responsibility of a captain. And, I have good friends that are ship captains, and you're responsible for the safety of everyone on that vessel. You want to take
100%
paycheck. You do the right thing whenever what you think is the right thing. The right thing was not pulling away from there.
Oh, totally.
And
this turned into 45 minutes of chaos.
So now the boat pulls out. Now these guys all realize there's no law enforcement on here, and we're in the middle of the ocean, and it's just civilians and us. And it turns into an all-out prison, like, gang fight. There's people throwing I physically saw this guy throwing a bottle of bleach in someone's face. Guys running around the boat with knives. Guys just doing whatever they wanted to do. It was all out. So I said, I want to get away from these stairs because they're eventually going to make their way down here,
Yeah.
And I don't want to be at the bottom of the stairway. So we pushed to the back of the vehicle deck and just kind of stayed there. And some more people came. And eventually some of the ferry workers were actually really nice and kind of helped us. By helping us, they couldn't do much, but brought us some water and things like that. And they were scared too. Nobody has any weapons. We have no way to defend ourselves.
I'm sure they weren't trained for this. They weren't prepared,
Not at all. And again, I don't want to downgrade them because some of them were in the same. They were all in the same boat, I should say, right?
Yeah.
It was mainly this one guy that kind of made us, at least, like I said, the captain's responsible, but one guy was kind of stiff-arming people from getting off the boat. A couple people just went past him and jumped off the boat, and they were the smart ones.
Before it took off.
Before it took off, but they tried to take off because more of us were trying to get off, but they took off before we could do that.
So this sound like, and with their statement, so this part is a lie where they said that there was added security measures were put in place with the assistance of state and local police. That's a lie.
Well, on the dock, yeah.
That was a lie.
Oh, not on the ferry at all.
Well,
yeah,
okay. So, the ferry was
coming over, not leaving, not coming over and not leaving. There was no one walked around.
Have you talked to a lawyer?
Smoking weed freely. Not that I'm against weed, but like You would never see this on the Martha's Vineyard Ferry or near
No,
You
you
should
would
make
not.
everyone smoke weed. Maybe they'd stop fucking
No.
killing each other.
Yeah. So would you? Are you talking to a lawyer? Do you want to sue?
I don't honestly
You
know.
should.
It's not
Probably get like a civil lawsuits everywhere.
You should talk to a lawyer. I mean, I'd recommend. I mean, I can think of a few things. They basically held you against your will on a prison boat.
Right. Now we get underway. It goes on and on. We see these guys running up and down the stairs. They're like, oh, they're doing this over there. We're getting like words, but different groups of people were stuck in different areas of the boat, just kind of trying to stay out of these guys' way, you know? So we start getting closer to Point Judith. And the guy comes over, don't worry, the Coast Guard are there, this and that. And I'm like, okay, you know, like, that's all great, but, you know, what are these guys capable of? No one's pulled out a gun yet, but if they do, these bullets are going to ricochet off these metal bulkheads and just start hitting everyone, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
and like if a plane, if an incident happens on a plane, the plane goes down to the nearest airport. That's what they do. But this ferry's just like, no, got to get to Port Judith on time, or else who cares if people get stabbed?
He started literally like 5 minutes after we left Block Island, so he could have just turned around and they could have evacuated the boat. This captain, whoever he is, I'd like to find out.
Well, so he works for the company. The company is the one that you would sue. It would be what the hell's the name of it? Interstate Navigation.
I'm talking about being responsible for your vessel, you know.
Right, right.
Of your passengers, you know, that's all I'm talking about.
Yeah, but he represents the company, so his failure is the company's failure because they obviously didn't train him properly or her, and as a result, people were put in danger. I mean, it's amazing no one was killed. I mean, just 45 minutes of recklessness. What did they do? I mean, I thought after 5 or 10 minutes of it, you would think they would get tired and be like, well, now what? But they just kept stabbing each other.
But you're talking about 20 on like 20 guys. So it just, and they were running all over the ship. There's different pockets of people. So, you know, we're kind of huddled there. Just we're like, I think we're in the safest spot of the ship. We think, you know,
yeah.
And some of the crew was there with us. And so what happens next is all of a sudden this guy comes down with a stab wound in his arm, and he's wrapped it up with like a sling. And he decides he's going to come hang out with us because now that we're getting closer, they're getting worried about the fleet, whatever is going to happen, you know?
Yeah.
So he starts hanging out with us. Well, we don't want to be next to him. What if some people are looking for him or whatever?
Yeah.
So I move us away from him. Other people start getting edgy, move away from this guy. He realizes all that. He takes his sling off, and then he just tries to, like, you know, kind of put a towel over his head, whatever. All of a sudden, the boat pulls up. A couple coasties get on, but it was mostly police. They have rifles. They just start pointing rifles at everyone. I'm like this, like, hey, I got a baby right here. You think, do we look like the perpetrators? Like, you know? Now, I said in my text to you, my girlfriend said, hey, you kind of put it wrong. They didn't put a gun in our face. I'm like, they aimed guns at us. It was like 10 feet away, but it was like, you know, like, you know, and I'm like, we just survived the gangbangers. I don't need like a trigger happy cop letting off inside this metal boat, you know, like, what the heck, you know?
I'm going to bring on, I'm just while you were talking, I'm going to bring on this woman named Melissa. She was on the boat too, I believe. Okay. And maybe she can share her. Hi, Melissa.
I'm here.
Hi, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Okay.
All of a sudden, your video is working perfectly fine when you were backstage, and now it freezes up, of course. Looks like we're having stroke Melissa here. Okay. Is that better? This is why we usually use computers with this. But, okay.
Good.
No. So, can you hear me, Melissa? Okay, I'm gonna put you backstage, and once I see your camera moving around backstage, I'll bring you back on. So once you get that sorted out, so go ahead. You were saying? So
the police and a couple coasties board, we're already almost to St. Judith at this point. I'm like, well, why didn't they just wait till we pulled in, you know?
Mhm.
But they get on, they run around. I thought what they would do is find out, you know, kind of us who was the victim and kind of set up a safety perimeter around us at some point. No, they didn't. And now we're kind of like with this one of these guys, but I'm like, okay, at this point, I don't think anyone's gonna shoot or stab anyone. So we
Mhm.
felt a little bit safer at that point, but they,
That's what they said to do.
So what were you, what happened from your perspective, Melissa? So did you see anyone get stabbed?
I didn't realize I was still on. Well, I lost my voice, so I have to apologize.
Oh, sorry.
If I cut out, it's not from partying too much. I had the kids with me, my 10-year-old nephew and my son. We go there every year to celebrate the Reggae Fest for my son's birthday. I went to the ED today, and they told me that it's probably a traumatic stress response. I lost my voice literally the instant I stepped off of the ferry. And they've explained to me that it's sort of just a stress response that can happen. So hopefully this will come back. I got slugged in the eye over here and over here. I'm a little bruised up, but I'm okay. Basically, from my perspective, what happened is this. We were supposed to take the 7:45 ferry out. The 7:45 ferry was booked completely full at 7:15. So it left. The line was just crazy long. I was there with my son, my nephew, a friend, his wife, and their 2 children. We waited for a while in the parking lot. Everybody was getting antsy. I can't say I blame them. It was not well organized at all. They weren't prepared. A man and a woman hit me. Man first, and then his girlfriend. Basically, what happened is we're waiting in the line, and people are just getting really antsy. They want to get on the boat. They feel like they're going to get stuck. People are drunk. Some are partying and having a great time, but other people are not. Long and short, there was a lot of fights that started to break out in the parking lot itself. My friend Hennessy's on there in the chat. Her boyfriend was beat up bad in the parking lot. They were calling him racist because he's a white boy and all these things. And look, I don't come from that place, but it got real weird. There were certain groups that it just got real weird real quick. The police were there joking and laughing that the lines are so long that and I'm not anti-police, but I'm anti-lack of preparation. I'm an RN, and you have to be ready for an emergency. You have to be prepared. So that being said, the police are kind of joking like this was a joke, where they're hungry, tired, stuck, and they were mentioning things like, oh, we should have brought pizzas and sold it by the slice and things like this. That's what they were discussing. That's what I overheard. There was a fight that broke. The line was just pressing closer. People just pushing, trying to get close. And I don't know if you've ever been on the ferry, but
Not on this one.
when you get closer, it's like they'll kind of leave you locked and you kind of feel like you're going to be stranded. So people were trying to push, thinking that extra people could get on, and they were letting extra people on. Well, a fight broke out in the line behind me, and there were some people fighting, a big group of people, and the police came over and just like diffused it. They didn't do anything. They didn't separate the groups. They didn't arrest anyone. As a matter of fact, during Hennessy and her boyfriend's situation, when she asked for something to happen and the parties to be arrested, she was told that if they try to arrest anyone, they're going to riot and they won't be able to crowd control. So just trying to get everybody out of there. And I said, okay, but call on the Coast Guard, call on the National Guard, whatever you have to do. But don't put us in a volatile situation. Make sure we're safe. Well, that's not what they did. They ended up letting the beef that happened behind me go on. And then when that group split up, they decided that they had gotten away with it. So they wanted to try to push through the crowd. Well, once one of the gentlemen pushed me, no more. I saw no more than maybe 20 or 30 cops total, and there was thousands and thousands and thousands of people throughout the whole day. Anyway, I was just answering the questions that came up. But
No, yeah.
anyway, the guy came bowling through the line that had already caused the fight, pushed me from behind. My buddy that I was there with him and his wife was like, "Please don't do that. We've been here waiting all day. She's not the one. Like that we come every. You know what I mean? Just relax yourself. We're all waiting. We have kids here." Well, of course, he wants to be, he doesn't give a blah, 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 and this, that, and he wants to go home. And I said, we do too. So anyways, their friend started apologizing to me, saying like he's causing problems. I was like, look, we don't want any problem. So I turned back around. Next thing I know, I get pushed again. I'm like, what the? I got pushed and like my nail got smashed and broken like into the fence and stuff. And I was like bleeding. And I'm like, you guys, come on, like stop. So long and short is, I turned around to tell the dude, like, stop putting your hands on me. I have my nephew in front of me. Like, stop pushing me. And his girlfriend was like, don't talk to my man like that. She got extra ghetto and sucker shot at me twice. Now, mind you, I'm generally prepared, but for that type of thing, but with the
So
kids,
you weren't hit accidentally. You weren't caught in the middle of this. You were intentionally targeted and punched.
in the
And
line, waiting. This is how I even ended up on that ferry. Technically, I was too far back in line to end up on the Conair on D block. I'm calling it when Block Island turned to D block. That's what I'm calling it. But I wasn't even in the line. I shouldn't have even technically gotten on that ferry. But what ended up happening is when that happened, right, the police came over. I think the police assumed that it was the same exact two groups fighting again because it was the same group from the prior fight fighting us at that point. And they're like, we'll put you all in handcuffs. I was like, you're not putting me in handcuffs. I didn't do anything. Like, literally didn't even swing a punch. Like, I got assaulted. I'm trying to protect my nephew. Like, get me out of here. So she's yelling and screaming. I'm yelling and screaming. And I was like, look, I'm going to be honest here. I was like, I will drag down Mama Bear, kill you in front of these police before, if they don't get me out of here. Like, I'm not going to let you assault me in front of these children and make these children feel unsafe. We will go to war. These police have to get you or me out of the situation, period. That's what's happening all across this parking lot. And I have to defend myself. Don't make me. So the police realized at that point who was causing it and decided to take us out of the line. I said, what are you going to do with us? They said, the ferry's full, or we're going to escort you onto the ferry. I said, fine, just get us away from them and get us home. I felt desperate, kind of like you felt. Like I knew something was wrong.
So you just been assaulted, and the person that punched you in the face wasn't arrested.
They totally got away with it. The person that punched Brian in the face, and you should see him, scratch marks, busted hands, whole face.
Could you identify him? Was he in the vicinity?
Yeah, and I'm going through some of the videos now and trying to screenshot and see if I can find where I was in line and find who was behind us. I'm trying to find evidence. Yeah, and I'm suing, so you know.
Did you point them out to the police and say?
Oh, I didn't have to point them out. It was, this guy hit me, this is happening, she's fuck you. I'm like, listen, officer, if you don't do something, I'm going to take it into my own hands.
And the police
did nothing.
They said they weren't going to arrest because they thought that arresting would ignite a riot. That was the policy.
Yeah, because they just didn't have the manpower. That's what they had already told Hennessy. She was on the ferry before us when her boyfriend got beat up. I was of the mindset of just stop the press, stop the boats, make an announcement, figure it out, call in 10 boats, get everybody out of there at once. Even Steven, I don't know what you have to do, but something needs to happen differently than how it's, and it was just clear as day that something needed to happen, that they weren't taking the initiative. Well, they decided to escort me and my family and my friends and their kids onto the ferry. It was a shit show. Fighting up top, excuse my French, fighting down below. I have screenshots and evidence, a video from this guy a half hour watching this whole fight ensue. I'm trying to find screenshots of that, who actually hit me. But I can see myself standing there with the police officers, and there's the guy in front of me with the rag, and his face is busted up and squirting and everything already. And in the moment, I didn't realize it because I just thought I wanted to get my family to safety away from the already trouble and on the boat. But then I realized they just put me in more danger because now I'm locked into a boat with people who are literally about to kill each other. So I was on the bottom of the boat with kind of where the cars go in, and I decided to just kind of try to make a barricade for myself and my family. And what I did was I took underneath the stairwell, we took kind of cover under there, and I put my nephew back farthest against the wall. Then I put the two boys in front of him. Then I put my son in front of them, and then me and the other woman in front of him, and then the husband in front of them. And we grabbed one of those poles, you know, that have the hook on it that kind of grabs the rope when you're trying to pull the buoy back. Mm-hmm. And we had him stand there like ready for war. I mean, we didn't know what else to do. Naturally, as things got crazy, we tried to move a little bit. People were coming running down the stairs, but you almost felt a little bit safe hidden back there, but then you didn't because they were bringing the wounded down. That's how we got blood all over us. Every time they tried to take, something off one of their faces or something, blood was just squirting everywhere. I had blood all over my arms. I didn't even realize it at the time. I realized it when my son had it. He's 20, almost 22. Again, we're celebrating his birthday early, but He had it all over his face. It was running in his eyes, on his chest, all over his shoes, everywhere. It's all over all of my belongings. My wagon is covered in blood. All of my beach chairs, just everything splattered everywhere from them bringing the people down that were hurt. So we were just kind of like in the triage area at that point, but nowhere to go. I couldn't move. My nephew, I had to wrap him in a sheet to try to shield him from the blood and to shield him from seeing things and try to hold him. He was telling me this is the scariest thing that he's ever been through. He thought we were going to die. And all I could do is tell him, Auntie's going to make sure you're okay. And, police are going to come. And then eventually, I do have to say, the staff that works on the boat, while we were not safe, they did what they could. They did what they could. The guy that was up there trying to be a hero,
the guy I put in the video, the big guy.
He tried, man. Like when I tell you, he was the only one. He took a baton out, and he was like ready to kill that. He was like, "This is it now." Like it was getting bad, man. It was like one side again. It was literally like a prison. People throwing things. You couldn't go anywhere. I was raining blood. I'm not being dramatic. I'm a nerd. Like this stuff doesn't normally shake me. And I've been through some things in my life, So it's like, but that type of situation, being trapped and with the children and just not being able to get yourself truly to safety, and then knowing how long the ride is and wondering how much further it's going to escalate, So what ended up happening is that guy did try to stop the people from fighting. He took a baton out. He was ready to fight back for us. Honestly, that man that had his arms out in the picture you posted. But then the younger kids on the crew came to me and they were like, "Look, I want to warn you. The Coast Guard's about to jump on this ship. There was a stabbing upstairs and someone's face is sliced. I don't want to make you I don't want to alarm you too bad. I don't want to cause alarm." They panicked because they knew the kids with us were upset. But and we're just in the middle of the shit show. And we got forced on the boat, and then I was like, "Bye!" And so I'm like, "Wait, my face! Did you have ice? Is there a cop I can make a report?" It was just done, go by. And so, anyways, the young man did come up to me and said, that's why I made my comment. He said, "Look, I'm not trying to make alert. I just want to alert you that they are on their way. Someone's just stabbed and sliced with a razor blade in his face." And I was like, as a nurse, I can't help. I'm stuck right now, physically sick. Do you know what I mean? I just needed to keep the kids safe. But he did say to me, he didn't know what to do. And he said, "There's only 3 of us. We're 19 and we get paid $14 an hour. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do." And I said, "Just you asking if we're okay, just you caring, just you standing up and not hiding in a corner. That alone, man, I just want to find who those kids were and who the staff was. I'm being for real. And thank them because they did a job that they didn't get paid to do, more so than and I'm not a cop hater. Please don't twist this.
No, I don't think anyone here is a cop hater.
This is like a Uvalate thing. What are we doing with our life?
Yeah.
Where is the stand down? Where does this mentality come from that you put people, they trapped us. And I'm grateful as I'm coming out of the fog of what really we just went through. And I'm like, I'm just grateful that it didn't get a lot worse, but it was bad. And so anyways, and then these reports, these people, these idiots in the comments on the regular mainstream news channels that are saying, "Oh, they responded in 18 minutes. No, they didn't. We suffered through that entire ferry ride. We were close to shore. Back in Point Judith, when the Coast Guard came, they didn't call the Coast Guard to come for us until that man's face was slashed, until it was do or die for real. They didn't take it seriously. They didn't." And
to me, this is a 3-part failure here. 3 organizations are at fault. Number one, the biggest
ferry company
is the ferry company, okay, because they are completely negligent. Just not having a police officer on that boat to begin with is a horrible policy. It's a cost. I'm sure it saves them money by not having a detailed officer on.
I know. Not when I get a hold of them.
Right.
Not when I get a hold of them.
Number one. Number 2 is the town. The police department themselves not having, a festival is going to be there. You need security, period. End of story. They lacked that. This is something they should have been prepared for. They have to be prepared for anything. It's not like there was guns either. It's like, if you're not prepared for this, then what the hell are you prepared for?
Right. What if something really pops off? This was mediocre at best.
And the festival itself, the festival they should have paid for more.
They should have had a filtered. There should have been an organized process to touch base on the company itself. There should have been an organized process. They had our boat was what they apparently called an unassigned boat, which means that, hey, But first of all, how you know how many tickets you sold, so therefore you know how many people have to come back, bro. Sorry, but it's true. You know how many people went. You know how many people you're responsible to get home. I did not get myself there, and I did not pay for a one-way ticket. And I bought my ticket 2 months in advance, mind you. So that being said, it wasn't like just flipping. But hold up a second. So that being said, there should have been an organized process. You buy a ticket, you get on that ferry, and you go. There should have been a streamlined process to filter us in and out.
What were you going to add, Pat?
Go ahead, Pat.
And all those tickets, they weren't even collecting our tickets when we got on.
No.
I still have mine. And all the tickets said same day pass. So when I go to the vineyard, I can use that pass forever if I don't decide to leave the vineyard that day or whatever. This
you have like 30 days to use it.
Right. So this pass said same day pass. So they all must have said that.
They did. And you have to remember, it's not only people coming over for the ferry for the festival. People live there. People might have been there for a week with their group of 20, and now they're trying to leave out on after the holiday. You know what I mean? It's not just the festival goers that they should have been responsible for. But my point is if make your money. That's the name of the game, right? But if the festival's popular and you know it sold out online well before the festival pre-sale was sold out, okay? They sold tickets at the dock. At that point, they should have decided we need this many accompanied ferries, aka with security on them, to get these goers back. What they did is they left us all stranded, like we're on some weird island literally festival, and they decided that they were just going to send ferries for us and cram them packed. And what they sent was an unbooked and what they call unassigned ferry, which means it was not planned, it was not scheduled, it was just an extra ferry that they sent. And that being unassigned, that they're not taking accountability because they're saying, well, it was unassigned, so we didn't have time to assign an officer to it. And that's how the company, and it's just, there's no room for that. We have plenty of officers on call. There are plenty on that island to answer the question about who jumped off that boat. It wasn't state police organized it. It's in the hands of the state police now. But that was North Kingston Police, North Shoreham Police, Narragansett Police. That's who that was on that boat. I don't even think that was the Coast Guard's boat. Don't quote me on it.
That didn't look like Coast Guard. That did not look like Coast Guard.
No, I don't think it was. I think North Shoreham boat has a boat similar to the same functionality for the same reasons. But I believe that was a multiple effort from multiple different jurisdictions to come in. But the point is those officers were on the island, and I understand that they can't take those officers off the island to help us, but they shouldn't have taken us off the island until they had the people to secure us down. They should. We were better. I was better off there getting punched in the face.
But if you stayed there, you would have had to spend the night too. It sounds like they're just like, if you don't leave now
you're really screwed. So it was a dire straight situation where, and they didn't really give me a choice. That was like, they made me feel like get separated and get out of here so that you don't keep getting beat up in line, basically. And I'm not going to sit there and throw fists with my, you know what I mean? Like, that's just not, you can't do that. It's traumatizing.
I hope you guys find a really hungry attorney who will represent you in this. And because, again, these people have deep pockets and they have insurance. This is what insurance is for. Like, their insurance exists to cover stuff like this, And so you're a victim here, and what happened to you was a crime, and they are responsible for this, and they should pay for that because this is a business and this is a cost of doing business for them because they completely dropped the ball on this one, and they endangered you. They traumatized you.
I agree. Well, if anybody knows a good lawyer, I'm happy to sit down with them and discuss. I'm not the shook type. I tend to get up and stand up for the people. That's who I am in life. And if I have to do this to make a point, because God forbid, like, I have to think about this, like, now people know what they can get away with. And we have to think about that as a society. This is a public health issue. So anything can happen now. These big people that want to look tough, now these people, it's going to be a popularity contest. It's not going to get better. And if they don't secure this down, and I mean, Block Island's a nice place. It's not a trashy place. It's not. It's a really nice place to go. It's got cow pastures on the backside. You can ride your scooter. You can enjoy a day. It costs money, $400 or $500 a night generally to stay in per room, and you got to do 3-night minimum. It's not for the faint of heart to go over to Block Island. But when they offer free shows like this, they just need to, and more power to them. People deserve to enjoy the island, but ramp up your security a little bit, man. Come on.
They're asking for it. Free show, you're asking for it. I hate to say it, but.
Yeah, so I went to the emergency room today and they said, I just have some contusions and stuff, and I have a little bit of thing going on in my jaw because I got hit over here, but it'll be fine. It's just not locking proper. But and then I have my voice issue. They said is a stress response that just take it easy. My job said take a few days for yourself. My son had to get blood drawn today because he was covered in blood and we're afraid it went in his eyes and his nose. So they're testing him for like HIV and the hepatitis and all these
Yeah, I
things.
was gonna say that's not. And
Yeah,
whatever.
it's a real thing, man. I mean, it's so that they did draw the blood today, and he has some contusions on his back of his neck, and his foot got stomped, so it's bruised up. Trying to protect me, but
well, do you guys have anything else to add before we kind of wrap this up here? It's been a very interesting episode. First, thank you for sharing your stories.
No problem.
No, it was really great hearing what Melissa's point of view, and everything she said is spot on. And please, if you find the right attorney, and tell me.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find you guys an attorney. I'm gonna do a follow up on this because
I appreciate that. And yeah, if we need to do a follow up, I guess the only thing I can say is if anybody's listening that knows the police that did come to help, we appreciate them. Please let them know we're not knocking their style. It's just that prior planning prevents a poor execution, and that's what we expect from as public. I want to make sure that the ferry staff that helped us knows we're not like knocking them. But if there's anybody else that was a victim that needs support from us, this wasn't like a real deal like traumatic situation. So if anyone needs to feel like they're not outcasted, reach out to us. If anyone has a lawyer or knows how we should handle this to make sure it can't happen to anybody again, let us know.
Do you live in Rhode Island, Melissa?
I do.
Okay,
yeah.
Got it. And you live in Massachusetts? Yeah. Okay. I don't think it matters.
Hennessy's in Massachusetts, and I know she wants to be involved in it as well.
Okay. Well,
and then look, this isn't for the money; it's the principle. For me, I'm okay over here, but you're not going to get away with doing that. And imagine if we don't stand up, what's going to happen next?
Yep. So, okay. Well, thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate you sharing your insights and the trauma that you survived, and we'll see if we can get you justice. What's
One
that?
love. One love.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate you being on.
Bye. All right. So that was interesting, Deb.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazier than I thought when I wrote the blog. I'm like, holy shit. When you actually hear them talk about it, it's like, wow. And I showed over here in the blog itself, like, let me bring it up right here. Like when you look at the criminal record, so like I searched the names. I love Rhode Island's judicial portal. It's so convenient. You search the names of these people and all their court cases come up. So the 7 people that were arrested,
had shared.
3 of the 7 had just amazingly long criminal backgrounds. We have here, this was, there were 30 pages, 30 different charges for all 3 of these guys. Michael Carvalho. I only found one other Michael Carvalho who lives in Providence, is 26 years old, just like this Michael Carvalho.
Oh,
but
he lived to a ripe old age already.
But the guy I found on Facebook by that same exact name who lives in Providence, he's actually a firefighter. And I just had a hard time believing that this is, I don't know, because this guy's got like a 30-page
that can't be the same person.
So this guy, that's a weird coincidence though. 26 years old, lives in Providence, like weird. And so he's got felony, firearms, carrying a pistol without a license, DUI. So he's a drunken guy who goes around kicking the shit out of people. Trent Manning has over 30 charges. Same shit, assault and battery, carrying a pistol without a license. Good thing we have all these gun laws. Good thing we have all these gun laws that aren't enforced. Domestic violence, it beats up women. Same with the third guy there, Miguel Silva, who was also been arrested for gun charges and domestic violence, some strangulation in there. And this is the guy, right? This is Kimbo Half Price. This has to be him, right? That's definitely the guy. He looks very. That looks, the beard itself. It's like a weird.
That's it. Yeah, totally.
That's got to be that guy.
That's him.
He's put on a little weight, I guess, but.
He looks way better in that picture.
He just looks like a fucking douchebag, like this guy. Oh, I'm fucking Hondo. He's like taught his son. He's taught his son to be an asshole too. Like you look at this guy, you're like, that guy goes around look. Oh, we get it, dude. You're really fucking hard. You're the hardest
Like,
guy
you
on
don't
Block
even know
Island,
what gun I
motherfucker.
got in my waistband.
Oh yeah, bro. When I go to the reggae festival, nobody fucks with me, son. I always carry my knife in case I have to knife a hoe, dog. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Get over yourself, you fucking pussy. You go around beating up women on fucking streamliners, you fucking pussy! Pussy. And here I am. People are like, are you scared, Turtle Boy? Are you scared? No, I want that guy to know. The guy with the fucking 30 charges and assault and battery. I want him to know if he's watching this, dude. You're a fucking pussy. You live an hour away from me, and I'm saying these words to you, and I'm calling you a pussy. And here's what you're gonna do about it: nothing. You're gonna do fucking nothing. Because at the end of the day, in your soul, who you actually are, you're not a man. You're a fucking child. You're a pussy. And I see right through you, man. I see right through that fucking beard, and I know exactly the kind of person that you are, bitch. Anyway, that's my rant about them. So, anyway, yeah. How many hours till the Globe steals your story? Yeah, it's funny. It is weird how, like, throughout all the reporting on this, it's like, how do you not mention that somebody got their face fucking stabbed? Like, how is that? I mean, what is the purpose of a media if they don't mention that? You know, how do you not mention any of this? So, anyway. Anybody have any questions or anything? Why don't we do a little Ask Turtle Boy to end it here? Thought this was a pretty good episode. And if anybody else has anything to say, I can answer them if anyone has any questions. That's not really a question. That's a statement. But yeah. Check my donos.
You got donos, yeah.
Do I? On the turtle chat?
Yeah.
Oh, I do. I just got one from Glamour Sue's. Let me bring it up.
She put a lawyer's name in there, she said.
Okay, so we're gonna share this one here from Glamour Sue's. She donates 50 big ones. Thank you very much. She says, thank you for letting these people have their voice. Peter Kilmartin is a great attorney. So there you go. There's one name that you could possibly reach out to. So thank you, Glamour Sue's. He flipped off Juan DiPietro. I mean, John. We're calling him Juan now. John DiPietro. I should have asked John to come on tonight's show. If you don't follow John on social media, John covers. He's like the Howie Carr of Rhode Island, kind of. He's got a radio show there. He's the conservative talk radio guy. All the ratchets hate him. So you know he must be doing good work down there. And he's always welcome on this program if he ever wants to join us. That's Suge Knight. Juan is his nickname. Okay, so people call. See, I'm not from Rhode Island, so I don't really know. You know, I don't really know the nicknames. Cheddar Crispy?
Cheddar.
Somebody mentioned Cheddar Crispy. Must have missed that. Okay. Nobody on the boat had an LTC. Good question. I mean,
there's no metal detectors either, right?
Is there concealed carry in Rhode Island?
Like, they care. Do they give a shit, Aidan, really?
No, I'm talking about the...
So well.
I'm talking about
like
the legal...
Else?
He's talking about the...
So.
He's talking about the legal gun owner, like people that wanted to defend themselves on that. Yeah. I don't know how that works. Who's in the comments? Oh, Cheddar Crispy's in the comments. Oh, is he really? Cheddar Crispy's always accusing me of not using his song anymore. We still use it on Saturdays, my guy. We still use it, dude. Okay. Anybody else have any other questions? Oh, Monica delayed the protest. I was going to ask how the Monica protest went. I'm so disappointed to hear it didn't happen, but I'm also very excited now to hear it got delayed. When did it get delayed to? I would like to learn more about that. Deb, and I think Pat is asking. Well, Pat is asking where. I'll message him later. He wants to know how he can watch this. This is streaming on YouTube. I think it's his first. He's not a Turtle Rider. He's never followed Turtleboy before. But it's funny they find that's what's cool about Turtleboy is that even if people find us through friends, you know, like a story like this goes down, and you know the media puts out a fake story. They put out an untrue story that doesn't have the facts, and somebody that witnessed it is reading the story and is like, "Wait a minute, this is not what happened." And so they're like, who are you going to call? And then their buddies tell them, hey, there's this blog called Turtleboy. You should check him out on Facebook. And then he shows up on the page and he started commenting. And that's how I reached out to him. And he's never read the blog before today. And so now he's going to be a Turtle Rider, I'm sure, because this is how we recruit almost. This is how we build our audience. We just create quality content and tell the real news that nobody else is telling. So take notes, people. This is how journalism is done. You reach out to people, you interview them, you get firsthand primary sources on here. Janetti, we do have the sauces. Yeah. So it's done. What is my thought? I want to answer this one. What are my thoughts about the FBI and Trump's house raid? I have the standard right-wing opinion on this one. That really should be everyone's opinion. And that it's scary. You know, it's banana republic shit that we are doing here. Like, the president of the United States ordered a raid on his predecessor, the previous president of the United States, and is trying to throw him in jail because he has record low approval rating numbers, and he considers him a threat to beat him in the next election, but he can't beat him if he's under indictment. And so that is like when like people are like, you overuse the word communist. Do I? What else do you call a government that, you know, weaponizes the FBI against their political opponents, that creates something called a ministry of disinformation? Like, that fucking happened. That you have generals like Mark Milley trying to stage soft coups of elected leaders that they don't like from within. Like, what do you call that? If it's not communism, then what is it? So you tell me. So I think it's extremely disturbing, and it's extremely bothersome that's happening. And, you know, unfortunately, we're so polarized in our society today that a lot of people on the left cheer that on. They're like, fuck them. Yeah. Well, because it's all about winning, right? It's not about like principles or rule of law or whether or not it's like, they're just so obsessed with Trump. They're like, yeah, fuck it. Like there are the blue check marks on Twitter, guys, with literally the guy was proven that's BS. The guy was proven to be hiding classified docs. They went and look, who gives a fuck? Dude, does that bother you? Oh, is that somebody getting hurt by that? Then no. Then what the fuck? I mean, who cares? It's unprecedented that anything like this has literally never happened before. Oh, he's hiding classified. He's the fucking president of the United States. He can classify and unclassify whatever the fucking documents he wants to. This is weaponizing the FBI, our law enforcement agency, to go after the guy that you just don't like, right? Because, you know, he doesn't like you and he's a political threat to you. If you can't see the danger in that, then I don't know what to tell you. But it's an extremely dangerous precedent. And it's so dangerous that even today, Andrew fucking Cuomo and Andrew Yang both came out today on Twitter and were like, this is not good. This is not good. This is bad. Like, let me get the Andrew Cuomo to it. Let me bring this up. I'll show you exactly what these guys. Let me show you. Share screen. They're in the middle. Oh no, not an investigation. Oh no, they've never investigated Trump before. Whatever will he do? Oh, not another witch hunt. This is all they fucking do is investigations. They don't actually govern. They don't actually give a shit that, you know, inflation is at record highs, and they gaslight you and tell you, oh, well, gas is down 60 cents. Yeah, motherfucker, after it went up 250. So, you know, so let me bring up what Andrew Cuomo said. Again, this is a guy who, you know, 2 years ago was, you know, Mr. I'm going to be president. Like, before they found out that he's he's a little bit piggish, like his brother. We all saw that one coming. I mean, this is what Cuomo writes. He goes, DOJ must immediately explain the reason for its raid and must be more than a search warrant for inconsequential. This is a Democrat calling them inconsequential archives. I mean, that's all it is. It's not like there's shit in there that's like, oh my God, we have to get, like, who gives a fuck? I mean, this is what you're worried about right now? This is what the federal fucking government is wasting its resources on, is raiding Mar-a-Lago to find some pieces of paper and is fucking safe. Are you fucking kidding me? This is not how a fucking real first world country operates. What an absolute fucking joke this is. This is embarrassing. Andrew Cuomo is calling you out, or it will be viewed as a political tactic and undermine any future credible investigation and legitimacy of the January 6th. I got news for you, Cuomo. Those have no legitimacy either. Nobody gives a fuck about any of this. And notice all the blue check marks. Like, that's who's cheering this on. Like, yeah, girl, blue check mark. Thanks for your insight. I'm sure the notoriously cautious Merrick Garland didn't consider any of this. And Merrick Garland, of course, I mean, thank God that guy didn't become a Supreme Court justice. Thank fucking the good Lord. This is a guy who's weaponized the Department of Justice against parents, guys, at school board meetings. I am not making that up. They dedicated resources to find parents at school committee meetings. Okay, and investigate them. Notice who they're not investigating is, like, you know, all the people on the Epstein Island list, or all the people that Ghislaine Maxwell could fucking give up. They're not going after any of them, but they're going after parents at school committee meetings and Mar-a-Lago. This is a fucking joke, an absolute fucking disgrace. And if the Republicans have any balls, which unfortunately most of them don't, when we take back power, there should just be, we play by their rules. I'm a big play by the rule guy. Like, play by the rules that the other team sets. I don't want to hear a fucking goddamn thing about principles, Constitution. No, we're going to be better than that. Fuck that. That's how you lose wars. No, you don't have to be better than that. If they treat our prisoners of fucking war like shit, then we execute theirs. Okay? This is what we do. And I'm not saying we're going to execute anyone. Okay? Being figurative here, but I'm talking about when we get power back, there should be immediate investigations and raids involving everything Hunter Biden. That should be non-fucking stop. Okay, Hillary Clinton's home needs to be raided. All their homes need to get raided in the middle of the fucking night. Perp walk these motherfuckers like they did to Roger Stone, like they did to Peter Navarro. Embarrass them in front of their families. Put them in handcuffs. Just do it. Weaponize the FBI, because they've done that. Maybe even disband it and have something different. Call it the instead of having a federal bureau of investigation, we can have a federal judicial bureau. We call it FJB. How about that? Okay, and we can go after all those people. How about that? So Andrew Yang put some out that said the same thing, and the blue check marks, they don't like this shit. They don't like this because they're like, I know you aren't opening your mouth right now. Like, shut the fuck up. You know, like these are people. Sorry, Andrew, but nobody cares what you think. I guarantee if I go through this asshole, he's a blue check mark I see everywhere with 1 million followers, just a Biden kiss ass. I guarantee if I go through his timeline, I will find things praising Andrew Cuomo for the years. Until the second you say something that, and this is why they're communists, is because this is how they act. They unify. It's like you get out of line, they destroy you. Okay, and they've destroyed Andrew Yang. They've destroyed Tulsi Gabbard. They're going to destroy Andrew Cuomo because he's no longer a useful soldier for them. So he needs to be destroyed, and it is going to unify the base. And hopefully, again, this leads to I need a red wave like we've never seen before in November, and then we need to take back the White House. Unfortunately, I do think this about. I thought about this a lot today. I think that by doing this only increases the chance that Trump is going to run again, which is exactly what they want. Like they're not stupid. They look at the polls. They know that Ron DeSantis is more electable and likable than Donald Trump, right? They can get out if Donald Trump is on the ballot, they can get out the vote more. They'd be like, Donald Trump's back, better get out and vote. They want that more than anything. Ron DeSantis won't mobilize the left like Donald Trump will. As much as Donald Trump mobilizes the right, he mobilizes the left even more. And so they want him to run. And so this to me is going to increase the chances that Donald Trump is going to be the Republican nominee, because now he's a martyr. Now they've turned him into a martyr, and now it's just going to get more divisive. This is exactly what they want. So whatever. Anyway,
and people don't want to vote for Trump now too, who might have before like this happened.
People don't want to vote for Trump because of this?
I feel like they do. Like a lot of people since like yesterday, since all that started, people are like, oh, I don't want to. Like I might have voted for Trump like the week before, but like now I don't know if I want to.
Why? I haven't seen a single anyone who says that is retarded, and you should defriend them because they don't know a god. I mean, what's like, well, oh yeah, so the exact opposite is actually going to happen. People like Andrew Cuomo and Andrew Yang are on there and be like, dude, don't turn this guy into a martyr. Like now he's sympathetic. And yeah, Republicans don't need the Hispanic vote. Republicans have the Hispanic vote for the first time. There's been major demographic change. This whole replacement theory thing has turned out to be bullshit because actually the replacement theory worked out quite well for us because Latinos, Mexican-American immigrants in particular, are overwhelmingly now voting Republican. And so I love it, man. I love Latinos. I love my Latinxes. I love them. They don't like being called that. Only white people call them Latinxes.
Yep.
But I love the Latino community because they get it. They're not fucking stupid, man. They understand a scam when they see one. They're like, bitch, you're taking advantage of me. I'm voting Republican. I mean, come on. It's not going to be Trump, DeSantis. DeSantis is not going to be. DeSantis is his own man. DeSantis has to be in charge of something. He has to be the governor. I mean, if you're Trump's vice president, you're basically his bitch, right? Your job is to be like Mike Pence. I mean, Mike Pence was the perfect vice president. Obviously, they have beef now, so he can't be the vice president anymore. But Trump was so lucky to have a vice president like Mike Pence. He should be thanking his stars to have somebody that loyal throughout. A guy who, he's a religious guy, Pence. He's an evangelical. He represents that wing of the party. And he kept his mouth shut. And he was just, even though he knows Trump is kind of like a massage therapist type of Republican, not traditional, a New Yorker. And he just went along with it because he was a good team player. We need more Mike Pences in the world, not less. Hispanics only like Trump. No, they do. They do. They like Maya. Look at people getting elected in these congressional districts that are overwhelmingly Hispanic. Donald Trump's not getting elected there. Republican Congress people are, that's happening in all these border districts. Well, show me that poll. I don't believe it. Anyway, anybody else? Anybody else have any questions? Is he already calling him names? He better not. See, he better not. He better shut the fuck up about Ron DeSantis. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's the guy right there. Ron DeSantis is the fucking guy. The greatest politician I've seen in my lifetime, and nobody comes close. You're right about that. It is a slap in the face. Mega Mortis, Latinos who come here legally hate the illegals. It's a slap in the face. Exactly. And they're also Catholic, a lot of these people, and they're not stupid. They're not down with all this like culture shit about like men in drag reading to my children. Like that's a white people thing. That's not, who doesn't have drag queen story hour? Uganda, right? Like, and fucking Saudi Arabia and Colombia. They don't have drag queen story hour there. Only white countries have that shit. And so they look at that. It's like, dude, and they're absolutely right to judge our culture. If this is what white culture, Western culture is turning into, it's fucked up. You should preserve your culture. Your culture is better than ours. Let's be perfectly honest. I can see that Trump appeals to people who have English. No, the best words, the best ones. Okay. The best
Tremendous words.
Tremendous words. That's 3 syllables. Okay.
3.
Yeah.
Count 'em.
I did see that the Ukrainian. Oh, he's Ukrainian? I thought he was Russian. Oh, interesting. Immigrant truck driver that ran over the bikers. He was acquitted. I didn't know this. The bikers had alcohol in them.
Yeah,
I didn't
because you wrote about that.
Yeah, because I wrote about it 3 years ago, man. I thought that was like
that.
Open and shut. Maybe I can review some of that shit, but
well, they said no. It sucked because like they had alcohol in their system, and the guy, the driver, he had drugs in his system.
Yeah,
it was just like no one could really. The bikers couldn't like confirm
defend them.
Yeah, they couldn't defend how much they drank that day. There was no real idea, so they just couldn't prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he was guilty versus them because they were going over the center line and drinking all day. And there was just too much like to establish reasonable doubt.
I remember that video. Maybe I can find it. Let's have a little fun if you guys aren't going anywhere. I'm gonna find the what was his name? Vladimir something.
Vladimir something. Yeah, it was in 2019.
Yeah. Okay. Vladimir Yakubovsky. So there was a video of him at a truck stop at a prior incident in which he was so fucked up. Have you guys seen this video? He was all incoherent and shit. Oh no, that's the wrong Vladimir. Oh, that's Hadassah's husband. Okay, we want this Vladimir.
Volodymyr.
Oh, Vladimir with the Y. Okay, this one.
Yeah.
Body cam video.
Yeah, because he wasn't even supposed to fucking.
Vladimir's arrest in Texas shows he's high as a kite carrying a crack pipe while driving big rigs. Check this out if you haven't seen this.
Yeah, he didn't have a license to operate that vehicle either.
What's going on, man?
Oh, he's so fucked up, damn.
Look what he's on.
He can't even stop fucking moving.
What's up, man?
Holy shit.
He's tweaking.
He still can't stop moving at all. He's just fucking twitched out.
I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm just like tired.
I'm mad nervous, guys.
No, like I didn't sleep like all day. I'm always after work. I'm a truck driver. My truck is parked outside. My team driver is supposed to wait for me, so we can leave and drive. I'm sorry, officers, if I did something wrong. You guys, my truck is right there. I had to promise my.
What'd you take today, man? What did you take?
I didn't take anything. I used to be asleep. Like I didn't sleep.
Okay.
I'm tired.
Look at him.
Excuse me.
What are you on?
On?
Yes.
He's trying so hard now to sober up, but
Kind of drugs
he
or
can't.
anything?
No. Like, we just had a drug test.
I'm just itchy. I'm really itchy.
We just had a drug test, he said.
We had a drug test.
It makes me tweak.
Look at him.
I came Monday. Tuesday we had
Super
a-
itchy dude.
The drug test for us. Are you here with anybody? Yeah, I'm telling you.
Stand still real quick.
Who are you here with?
Look at him.
Your pupils are dilated to hell, sir.
Smoke meth or anything?
No, come on.
He's cutting his.
Come on, guys.
Crazy
Listen.
right now.
Shh, shh, shh. That's what he says.
You're on something, man. Your pupils are dilated. So,
I don't know.
or what did you take? I just want to know what you
I
took, man.
didn't take anything, officers. I was working the whole day today. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, but I didn't take anything.
So, man, you can't even stand still right now, man. You're
Like,
dancing
I'm,
around,
I'm
man.
scared. Like right now, like I'm
Why are you
just,
scared? So every time you scare, you dance around?
no,
You've
it's
been
just
dancing around since we walked in, man.
when I see you, like I don't know, like I'm like right
All
now
right,
panicking.
give me sister after we're in here. But before I walked through that glass door, I saw you already moving around, dancing around, and doing all kinds of craziness.
No, I just went over to the desk, like trying to get my stuff.
No? Stand up for me. Mind if I check your pockets?
They find a crack pipe.
So you don't mind if I check them, right? I can check them or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
There it is.
Look at this little crack pipe. A lot of motherfuckers there.
They were called because he was like acting outrageously and like he was clearly high at the restaurant.
Crack pipe.
Crack pipe. Going to jail, son. And so like this is how he just randomly drives around during the thing. So there's that, and there was also I did a bunch of stories on this clown. Let's see. The RMV suspended my license for a 2003 OUI in Arkansas and forced me to pay a $100 fine that I already paid. But Stephanie, oh no, that's different.
That's different.
Yeah, this is just about why this guy had a license to begin with. I remember we did a deep dive into
they were
this.
supposed to pull it in mass, and they never did.
Yeah. So, this guy was a complete, waste of space. Like it's an absolute disgrace that this guy got let off with. I mean, he's been in jail luckily. So he did 3 years at least since then. But this guy killed 7 fucking people and he was obviously high as shit. I mean, that guy should not be operating a big rig. Give me a break.
Shit.
And
Or
he
anything.
hit the jackpot in that these people had alcohol in their systems, because if they didn't, he'd be going to jail. That's what this comes down to. So, pretty fucking crazy. No, this was a completely separate incident
in Texas.
In Texas. So this is like how he drove around. The reason I showed the video, it's like, that's who this guy is, So
That's why he was making his runs in like cross country in like a day. He'd just take all the crack and never sleep.
Seriously. All right. Anybody else have any other questions? All right. What games will the left play when it comes to debate? I mean, they can't. There's nothing they can do. Ron's too good for them. Like, Ron is just too on his game to be, he doesn't fall for the traps. Like, the way he handles the media is so masterful. Like, he's just too good. He's too young and too sharp for them. Like, he's not fucking stupid. He's not going to fall for the same traps that Donald Trump falls for. The Tom Mount. Well, maybe we'll do that another time. Thank you. Yeah, that would be fun. Suzanne's here. She changed her name to Glamasuz.
What? I thought you just talked to her.
I did. So they said, "Where is Suzanne?" Ben?
I know. Yeah, I thought Cherokee Girl had talked to her and knew.
Oh, she's right. Okay, gotcha. All right. Yeah, I saw that. And not only did he shut him down like the most hilarious way. Although I don't like that. I wish he kind of went on The View. He should. That was my first negative DeSantis thing when he turned down The View. He should have gone on The View, in my opinion. But all right, guys. So we're gonna call it a night. It's been a great show. But we will see you guys all on. Let me make sure. Do we have any more donos? I don't want to miss anyone to give a dono.
Lauren wants to know when you're working on expanding TV.
Who want to know that?
Lauren De Laguna.
Expand when?
Like nationwide TV.
What we talked about that in the interview last night.
Yeah, but she wants solid. Like, when are you doing this?
2 days from now. I don't know. Soon. I'll do it. I'll do it when I do it. I promise. It's on my list of things to do. Add it to the list. Okay. So anyway, they just talk all over him. That's fine. But he would fucking destroy them. I've never seen somebody destroy people like Ron DeSantis. So anyway, guys, we're gonna call it a night. We will see you guys all. Oh, here's the one announcement. Turtle Club tomorrow night. I'm not doing it Thursday night. I'm doing it tomorrow night, Turtle Club. So I'll put a blog out tomorrow letting people know. Yeah, because I'm going to Cape Cod for a couple nights. I'm starting on Thursday. And
going away again. What are you fucking?
Yeah, but I'm working. Well, it's actually a funny story. A turtle rider is just letting me use his house.
That's ill.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And so I'm like, yeah, how do you turn that down?
He feels bad. You got a shitty Airbnb with no AC.
Yeah, apparently it's like yeah. I'm like, how do you turn that down? So yeah.
Right.
All right. So I guess we will see you guys. So we'll see Turtle Club people tomorrow night. We'll see everybody else on Saturday night for the live show from Cape Cod. Peace, Turtle Riders.
Have a good night, everyone.